That's your work in organizations, is to facilitate change. And facilitating a workshop is one tool in your toolbox to facilitate change, but it can't be your only tool. Because if everything you have if all you have is a hammer, what's the saying? Right? Everything's a nail. So we got a problem? Okay, let's facilitate a workshop. And that can't be our approach, right? If we're going to work with an outward mindset as facilitators in our organization. Now, what I don't want to suggest is that a workshop is not a valuable thing. And I had to learn this lesson myself. When I first came to Arbinger, I had a bias against training. Now, it wasn't that I didn't think training was valuable, but of the toolbox, the tool set that you can have to facilitate change in an organization, I thought that there were other things that would move the needle more quickly than training. And at about that time, I went down and I was the person on the other side of the camera when Louise was telling the stories that you now see in the training videos in day 1 and day 2. And after she had told some of these stories, I asked her a question about training to see if she would confirm on film, for the record, my bias, right? And so I can't remember exactly what I asked her. It was something like, so Louise, tell me how you see training and its effectiveness in producing real organizational change. And I kind of put a nasally pinch on training, like, tell me how I see training, And I'll never forget her answer. Immediately she said, Mitch, training is synonymous with teaching. Don't forget that. Training is about learning. This is how people gain knowledge. Training is so incredibly valuable. We should never discount its value in organizations. I don't think she really knew where my question was coming from. But when you think about her stories, think about her perspective. Remember the collusion story she shared yesterday, right in this same interview? What'd she say? In fact, it's not in the video, but on the raw footage, she finishes that collusion story where she identified an issue with a boss that had become so toxic for her that she was thinking about leaving the organization. And this had been going on for years. She finished that story by saying, that one experience, and where did it happen for her? In a training, right? Was the most valuable learning experience of her entire career. That's what she said. And I learned within about 3 minutes of this interview that Louise was so much smarter than I would ever be that I just decided I was going to believe anything she said. So I believe that. Now, there's probably very few like me, probably none, but it also could be the case on a very simple level that I might get disconnected from the outside triangles of those I'm trying to help in delivering a training or a workshop because I'm just worried about me. Right? I'm just worried about how this is going to go, how I'm going to look. I want to make sure that this is impressive. Right? Can I be focused on being impressive and being helpful at the same time? No, it's like oil and water. They're mutually exclusive. So all of these great insights. Okay, keep thinking about that as we go throughout the rest of this morning and introduce you to some tools. How do I begin to work on this? The outside triangles, really become an expert? And then how do I leverage the various tools at my disposal to help?